All right, let's take a look at plane figures. We got a few here. So we start with the square. Okay, so a square has to have 4 right angles, right? So that denotes a right angle, right? And a right angle is 90 degrees. So then we know 360 degrees are going to be in a square. Each will be 90 degrees, right? So what if a question was like this? Given area is 500, what, and we'll say this is square ABC, what is the measure of angle B? Okay, so they're just trying to throw you off with this area equals 500 because we just said that if it's a square, you've got 4 right angles, each angle 90, right? So angle B equals 90. Okay, so there would be one question. What would be another one that you could have? Given that area equals 500, what is the length of line AB? Okay, so we know all 4 of these sides are going to be equal. Okay, and if we do that math, we'll come up with 25. Sometimes it might be easier just to plug in the answer choices on something like that, but 25 times 25 is 500. All right, so there's square for you. Square means 4 right angles, 4 equal sides. Okay, rectangle. Pretty similar in that also it's going to have 4 right angles. Okay, and so if we look at something that you think looks like a rectangle but it does not have 4 right angles, cross off rectangle and also cross off square as your answer choices. So that's your important one there. If rectangle needs to have 4 right angles. Okay, parallelogram. So you might, as you look at one, think a parallelogram and a rectangle look awfully similar. Okay, opposite sides in a parallelogram are going to be equal. Okay, that's your first point. Opposite sides are equal and parallel. Opposite sides are parallel. Okay, so these are opposite sides, these are opposite sides. Okay, so you know, if you have this is a 10, you know that this is going to be a 10 right here. No question about it, given that it's parallelogram. If this is a 4, no question that's a 4. Okay, so let's look at a question example for parallelogram. Perhaps easy to remember, it has the word parallel right in it, parallelogram. Okay, all right, so we got parallelogram A, B, C, D. And notice, right, it doesn't have the 4 right angles, right? That tells us it's a parallelogram and not a rectangle. Okay, so in parallelogram A, B, C, D, B and D are opposite angles and A and C are opposite. Okay, it says B is 100. And then the question is, what is A? Right, and then they're going to tell us that in this one, opposite angles are equal. Okay, so they give us that information. Okay, so if B equals 100 and D equals 100, right? So they have to be equal. They gave us that, and then they asked us what is the angle A, right? So now we need to know that it adds up to 360, right? And we have 100 plus 100 plus, I don't know, which is A, and I don't know, C equals 360. But we do know A and C have to be equal 200 plus 2x is 360, right? 100 plus 100 is 200. Subtract the 200 each side. 2x equals 160. 360 minus 200 is 160. Divide each side by 2. X equals 80. So that means C will be 80. A will be 80. Okay. Alright. Now what if they said line AB was 10 and the area, let's say they said that area was 30. Okay, so we know that area is 30. Okay, and we know that opposite sides have to be equal, right? Okay, so we know this is 10. Well, that doesn't help us at all. They asked for perimeter, that would help. And then so we're trying to figure out what is this side, right? So essentially you have 10 times something you don't know equals 30. Divide each side by 10. And we know this has to be 3, and that would have to be 3. Okay, that's the kind of stuff you'll see. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, that's parallelogram. Okay, trapezoid. So, trapezoid will look something. I'm the best artist in the world. Trapezoid looks something like that. Okay, so your main thing to know with a trapezoid is at least one of these sides will be parallel, right? So either that and that will be parallel, or that and that will be parallel, right? And if that's specified, then it's a trapezoid. And those are the kind of questions that you'll see. It won't necessarily be solving for what any of this stuff actually equals, but it will say what four-sided figure has at least one pair of parallel sides. Okay, last one is rhombus. So a rhombus looks like a diamond. It'll look like that. Okay, and it almost seems like if we just flipped it over a little bit, then you would have a square, right? Okay, so your main difference here on rhombus versus a square is that the square would have 4 right angles. Yeah. A rhombus does not, but it does have all the sides of equal length, right? So if it said, given that you have, because they didn't draw it for you, but given that you have a rhombus, and one side is a 7, let's say, that's a 7. What is the perimeter of the rhombus, or what is the area? So perimeter, if we know that one of these is 7, then we know they're all 7, all 4 sides. So the perimeter would be 28, just adding 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. Area would be 49. 7 times 7 is 49.